What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to another TCG deck profile video on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out Charizard EX with Dragapult EX, a very fierce combo in the Pokemon TCG as you're going to be able to use the Burning Darkness as well as Phantom Dive all in one deck with some cool looking tech cards in there as well. We're still exploring updated archetypes with Black Bolt and White Flare, the upcoming meta for the Pokemon TCG World Championships, or maybe you want to get updated when the new meta will be here in the new season as well. This is going to be a video for you. We're going to be showcasing the Charizard and Dragapult deck today. If you guys are excited for today's upload, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out in many ways, and don't worry, all of these decks will actually get featured on the channel at one point with gameplay footage, but right now we're going to be doing an in-depth deck profile for the people that don't know what this archetype is all about and why specific cards are in the list. So without further ado, let's dive into it with 2 copies of Charizard EX. This is a powerhouse. Used to be the top of the town with, of course, the Infernal Rain and Burning Darkness attack, but actually has a little bit lower down in popularity lately because of the Budu in the format with item lock. But we will be able to, of course, summon Charizard at one point in the game, and it's very powerful. The longer the game drags on, the more damage it dishes out with the Burning Darkness, 180 plus 30 more for every prize card the opponent has taken. You also power yourself up with Infernal Rain. If you evolve into it, you can search your deck for 3 basic fire energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. So you're even able to power up other Pokemon with this. Sometimes you're even attacking with your Dragapult EX instantly when the opponent least expects it, because you evolve into Charizard with Infernal Rain, get a fire energy to your Dragapult EX, then the luminous energy of the turn, and off you go, attack with Dragapult EX. Or maybe you're going to be even attacking with Wellspring Ogerpon, the secret deck in this archetype. So we're going to have 2 copies of Charizard. This is going to be one of our attackers. But we have multiple attackers. If some of these are prized, you can always go for a different strategy attacking with Dragapult EX as an example. So there's a lot of different avenues against different archetypes. Then we have 1 copy of Charmeleon. I do recommend the one with 90 HP, with 100 HP, because that's going to be having the best survivability. You might see sometimes that there are Manatan that can snipe for 90 and stuff. So I think 100 HP is the better preferred version. You can also have the one that cannot be affected by effects. That could also be something you could choose, but currently I'm running the 100 HP Charmeleon. Then we have 2 copies of Charmander with 70 HP. We're going to be playing this one. Also has the option to discard a stadium in play, so I don't know if you will need that a lot, but if you're using that, you're probably losing the game. But this is going to be the Charizard lineup, a 2-1-2 line of Charizard EX. Then the secondary attacker in this archetype will be Dragapult EX. If you've been living under a rock, this has been terrorizing the meta as the most popular deck in town, paired up with stuff like Dusknoir, a straight up version with a lot of Budu, and this is going to be a version with Charizard. Now we're going to be having Phantom Dive, 200 damage, and then you can put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way that you like. So you can set up Math, which lines up perfectly with the Burning Darkness attack of the Charizard. You can also knock off low HP Pokemon, think about Budu, Cleffa, etc. And with the help of the Hawlucha in this deck, even 70 HP Pokemon like Ralts, Hoothoot, etc. will also get knocked out instantly, so you can take multiple prize cards all at once. So 2 copies of the Dragapult EX. Then 3 copies of Dracloak. This is going to be our stage 1 for Dragapult EX, but it's also going to be one of our draw engines. You're going to be able to use the Recon Directive, look at the top 2 cards of the deck, get 1 to the hand, 1 to the bottom of the deck. So very good, as you're going to be able to make yourself a little bit Iono proof or unfair stamp proof with the help of the Dracloaks right there. Then we're going to be having 4 copies of Dreepy, so a high amount of Dreepy, because as mentioned, the Dracloak is also our draw engine in the mid to late game, so that's why we need to establish a lot of these little fellas for Dreepy. So this is going to be a 4-3-2 line, so a little bit of a smaller Charizard package in this combo based deck. Talking about combos, we're going to have 1 copy of the Hawlucha in the 60 with the flying entry, comes in, and you're going to be able to, of course, put 1 damage counter to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so you can easily knock stuff out with stuff like the Phantom Dive. Sometimes it also comes in handy if you put 1 damage counter on the Pokemon, so Charizard is able to get a KO out of nowhere. That's also happening with stuff like Counter Catcher, but mostly here to just put the 70 HP basic Pokemon down to 60 HP. We're also having the Munkidori As we're playing Luminous Energy, we're going to be able to transfer damage from our side of the field to the opponent. If the opponent doesn't expect a Munkidori coming down, he can go for Burning Darkness in combination with Adrenal Brain, in combination with Hawlucha. So a lot of damage counters flying left and right with his deck, as mentioned, a little bit combo based. And the cool news is Munkidori in combination with Phantom Dive is also some of the scariest combos around. Then we're going to have one copy of the Phasandipity with Flipping the Script. You're also going to be able to charge this one up, by the way. If you're using the Infernal Rain ability of Charizard, there's also a capability to start sniping with the help of Phasandipity. If you do have the capability of sniping a lot, then this is the secret tech I would include into your Charizard Dragapult EX list, and that's going to be the Wellspring Ogerpon EX with the Torrential Pump. Also very handy because it comes back with a sub attack, allowing you to buy a lot of turns. That means if you're not set up quite yet, you can go for sub. And also a cool thing with Torrential Pump, you can take 2 prize cards at once by knocking out 2 1-prize Pokemon, which is very good. You're going to be able to use Luminous Energy and charge it up through the means of the Infernal Rain of a Charizard. So the opponent will never see that coming. If they don't slap down Manaphy, or actually not Manaphy, if they don't slap down Shaman, they're definitely going to be in for a run. And then one last copy of the tech card is going to be the Cleffa with the Grasping Draw for 0 energies, allowing you to draw cards until you have 7 cards in hand. So this can also be used to just have yourself a setup, because if you have a setup, you don't mind giving up prize cards as it only fuels the power of the Charizard EX. So if you give up some prize cards, Charizard dishes out more damage. Talking about the supporters right now, we're going to have 4 copies of the Arven. Arven, very good because we also come back with TM Evo in the 60, but also come back with a couple of other tool cards we're going to be talking about later. And also you're going to be able to get any item you want, whether you want the rare candy, whether you want to have your very powerful ace-pack card in the form of the Unfair Stamp, or maybe you're looking for some recovery in the form of the Super Rod or Night Stretcher, all searchable through the means of Arven, and definitely in the beginning of the game, you're going to be able to use Buddy Buddy Puffin. I always recommend going second with this deck, as you're going to be able to use Arven to get your setup going. But if you go first, Arven becomes a little bit less clutch because, yeah, if you go first, you're not going to be able to play Arven and then your item lock, so Arven becomes less good. Although if you do have an energy in hand, you can then go for TM Evo. It all comes down to your opening hand, I suppose. Then we're going to have 4 copies of the powerful Iono. Putting the opponent to a low hand size is always great. And what better way to do it than to have yourself some additional draw support as well. Iono pushing the opponent down to a low hand size, getting a refresh of the hand. And it's also great if you do come back with a lot of energies in your hand. You want them in the deck, otherwise Infernal Rain cannot accelerate them out the deck. And because we have draw power through the means of Drag Cloak, you can definitely swing games back into your favor. You can also go sometimes Iono, Counter Catcher, and use the Sop of the Wellspring to trap the opponent a little bit until you have the cards necessary to evolve into Charizard and then blow them up. So lots of combos possible. Iono, very great comeback card. Then 2 copies of the Professor's Research. Just dump your hand and draw 7. So yeah, getting, of course, a fresh hand is going to be necessary. You do play Super Rod and all that, so don't worry about the aspect of just discarding your Pokemon. You can get them back in a pinch. And yeah, Research is just going to help out. We're not going to be playing any Budu in this 60 to slow the opponent down. We're just gonna try and focus on our own setup, and that means we go for Cleffa, we draw some cards, get our setup going, and then go for combo plays with Counter Catcher, Hawlucha, even Munkidori plays can come into play left and right. So there's also a world where you add in Budu, but I currently am playing the tech card Wellspring Ogerpon. You can technically cut that for a Budu if you want to, but I'm just trying out this 60 for now. Then 2 copies of Boss's Orders, very easy. You just want to gust the opponent's Pokemon and just knock them out. You want to take down the 2 prize Pokemon. Sometimes when you have the monster hand where you can go Rare Candy, Charizard, accelerate energies onto Wellspring, Ogerpon, Luminous Energy of the turn, ball something up, you can get rid of like 2 bench hitters all at once. Take about 2 Dracloaks, get rid of them with the Wellspring Ogerpon. I've seen it happen with this deck time and time again. And if people are not slapping down Shaman, they're going to be in a world of trouble. Some decks are not even utilizing Shaman. So up against stuff like Gardevoir, that's really, really awesome. Okay, we're going to have 1 copy of the Brock Scouting. I know Budu is still around, so that's going to help out as an additional way to get the Pokemon going. You can get yourself 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon. Depends on the situation, so there's that. Then for the item cards, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the Buddy Puffin. Very easy. You want to have your 70 HP Pokemon out. This is going to get yourself the Cleffas. You're going to get, yeah, only one Cleffa, but yeah, going to get yourself Cleffa, Charmander, the Dreepy, and that's pretty much it. So you want to have your setup going. These are going to be your attacking type of Pokemon, so Buddy Puffin can get your setup going. Dreepy also eventually evolves into Dracloak, which is part of your draw engine. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, so of course you're going to be able to tin your hand to draw cards with the Grasping Draw, be able to find Phasandipity in the mid to late game, activate stuff like Hawlucha because you put the Pokemon into your hand, and also find your Stage 2 Pokemon, so there's that. Then we're going to have 1 copy of the Nesball on top of all of this. As you know, Nesball is going to be able to get Phasandipity, Munkidori, and all that good stuff, but it's going to be the 5th Buddy Puffin. It's not as good as a Buddy Puffin, but it's going to be additional search. Then 2 copies of Rare Candy. We're not going to be playing more copies as Budu is still around in the format. We also come back with TM Evolution in the deck, and we have Arven to fetch the Rare Candy when it is time to go. Then we're going to have 2 copies of Counter Catcher. So besides having Balsasaurus, we can also gust the opponent through the means of Counter Catcher if we're behind in prizes. So I definitely suggest giving up a Cleffa so your Counter Catcher is live most of the time, which is very powerful. Then for some recovery, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Super Rod, 1 copy of Night Stretcher. I flip-flop between these now and then. I think Super Rod is great so you can get energies back with the Infernal Rain. Night Stretcher gives you more flexibility to instantly get cards into the hand. So there's definitely merits to both of these. You can even go for 2 copies of Super Rod. Currently I'm playing a split line, 1 Super Rod and 1 Night Stretcher. Continuing on, we're also going to be having the Ace Pack card of choice will be Unfair Stamp. Pushing the opponent to a low hand size is fantastic because, as mentioned, your game strategy is you go with Cleffa, the opponent knocks that out, you slap down Unfair Stamp, get out a Dragapult EX or a Charizard and start swinging that way. The opponent will have a low hand size and you're going to have monstrosity of 2 prize Pokemon that are very tanky and slaps a lot of damage. So the Unfair Stamp of choice. I wouldn't blame you if you play something like a Prime Catcher in a 60 like this, but I'm a bigger fan of Unfair Stamp so we can actually get back into the game after we sacrificed the Cleffa. Then we're going to have a copy of TM Evo. So the reason why I'm not playing Budu is that most of the time I'm actually going, if I'm going second, going for the TM Evo strategy. That means I can get a Charmeleon into play if it's not prized and a Dracloak. That's going to help me out way more than if I would have used something like Item Block. So there's that. That's why we're playing TM Evo. I even want to play a second copy, but I currently cannot find the room as I'm overtacking with the Wellspring Ogerpon right there. But yeah, gives you some more plays right there. Then also an Air Balloon in the 60, allowing you to, of course, get out of the active position. This is a straight upgrade through we have the rescue board back in the days, but with only giving up a retreat cost of 1. But this gives up a retreat cost of 2, meaning that we can now freely go for Infernal Rain, accelerate energies wherever we feel like, maybe 1 energy to Dragapult, 2 energies to Wellspring Ogerpon, and have a Charizard with 0 energies. That means it can not get stuck in the active because we have Air Balloon. This 60 is also gonna be able to attack with other attackers. Sometimes you can snipe with Phasandipity on your second turn, sometimes you go for the Wellspring Ogerpon. It all depends on the playstyle, but a Charizard with 0 energies is no longer a scary thing because of the upgrade of Air Balloon in the Black Bolt and White Flare mini set. Then the stadium of choice will be 1 copy of the Team Rocket's Watchtower. This is going to shut down Carlos Pokemon, their abilities. More in particularly, the Noctowl engine is completely shut off with this, which is awesome. You can also shut down Pidgeot EX. You can shut down stuff like Squawkabilly EX if you have it in the opening hand, and if the opponent is going second, that can also be a thing. You might upgrade this stadium to another thing. Maybe you want to have Jamming Tower instead, but this is currently the stadium I'm rocking with. Also going to help out to bump a stadium like Neutralization Zone, which can sometimes win the game from the opponent. So that's why we're still playing 1 copy of a stadium regardless. Even though it's not like the most powerful thing ever, it is still in there for situations like that. Now for the energies, we're gonna have 4 copies of Luminous Energy. You might think, isn't Prism Energy around? Well, Prism Energy only works for basic Pokemon, so Luminous Energy is obviously way better. This is gonna allow us to use attacks like Phantom Dive, the Torrential Pump, and even sometimes attack with Munkidori as well. So it counts as every energy all at once, but you cannot combine them, so you need a basic energy. If you have 2 of these special energies, they're actually going to be colorless energies instead, so that's not going to be the thing we want. 1 Luminous energy onto Dragapult, 1 Fire energy onto Dragapult, you're off to the races, so that's going to be awesome. We're going to be having, on top of that, 5 copies of the Fire type energies to fuel Charizard, as well as your other attackers, but Charizard gets them out the deck instantly, and with Super Rod you can get them back as well. So currently this is the 60. Let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about the combination Charizard with Dragapult. It does provide you with a ton of options in my opinion. You have so many ways you can pilot or navigate games that I think it's very good. The reason I'm also not playing a Pidgeot EX line with the Dragapult or Charizard is that there's a lot of Team Rocket's Watchtowers around, so this could be an ideal pick. If you want to be playing something that has a ton of variety, a ton of options, this could be the list for you. Let me know which cards you would change. Would you add in a copy of Budu? This is actually playing a high amount of supporters because you want to get this off as consistent as possible. So yeah, this is the list. Dragapult, Charizard. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And as always, go check out the sponsors that make the videos possible. They are on the screen right now. Level up your game with TC Evolutions. Breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers. Precision, style, power. Use coupon TCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also go check out dragonshield.com. They have the best quality sleeves in the game. You can use the coupon ZAPDOS5 on everything on the website, from sleeves, binders to deck boxes. I'm currently rocking the yellow matte sleeves for people that were wondering. PotownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get them with instant email delivery. You can use the coupon ZAPDOSTCG for 5% off. Lastly, there's cardmarket.com for European players, where they're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. You can use the referral name ZAPDOSTCG to help support the channel. Alright, thank you all very much for watching today's upload. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It only takes 1 tiny second of your time, but does help out the channel tremendously. Thank you all, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace.